Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Suzanne Neufung with GBTA, and I'm here this afternoon with Ben Park, who is the chair of the European Advisory Board. Ben, thank you for being here today. There is so much going on as we exit the pandemic. You're a travel buyer. I'd love to have your perspective from your market of Germany. How do you see the exit of pandemic and the trends within the business travel industry?
A very good question, and I see there are three trends out of this pandemic. And one is, which you maybe heard all day, sustainability, but this is approaching us and should not be underestimated because most companies signed up for the COP26, and so there are goals which need to be met, and we need to act now to not miss these goals in 2026. The second thing is, unfortunately, inflation, and which results into price increases. So the other thing, what I'm hearing from everybody is we see massive jumps in average prices, and we need to see that budgets are there. Do we address the number of trips and all this? So sustainability, inflation, and price increases would be my top three to look out after the pandemic.
Has your company started traveling again? Did you ever stop?
We always had essential travelers, so we never stopped on the domestic travel. Of course, international was a little bit challenging at some times with all the restrictions, but so far at the moment I can say a lot of people are looking forward to return to travel. Others prefer to stay on Teams, so it's a mixed bag.
We certainly have to know about why people travel and what gets you from point to point for a face-to-face. I think we learned that this week as well. Are from in general your conversations with travel managers here this week, are there priorities similar to the ones that you just described that are important in your market?
There are a couple of new priorities coming out as a result of the pandemic, and my number one, what I'm hearing from everybody, is traveler centricity. So the traveler is in the focus. And not just savings and optimizing a program. So the absolute traveler centricity, the view on is the traveler safe, is the traveler treated well, what are their needs? So this is the number one. Number two is user experience, and this is in line with digitalization. What we hear that a lot of people are working now on a better user experience. So this would be the second, and number three is certainly, as a result of the pandemic, everybody is looking for what is my new baseline spend, because we know 2019 might not come back. So what is my new baseline so I can adjust the programs, and also suppliers are asking like, hey, what volume will you be able to shift and how can we work together? And the answer is quite often, I don't know. So I think this baseline is something we all need to watch in the next couple of years to then adjust the programs and do sourcing correctly.
So in that climate of ambiguity, how has the travel manager role changed?
It has changed massively because it's more strategic now. A lot of travel managers now don't only manage travel, and that's why we need to think about changing the term to a travel expense payment manager. A lot of colleagues now also managing the expense side, which is new. A lot of people are involved into payments, virtual payments, all this, and even some in fleet. So that's why it got so broad, the topic, and now sustainability on top, where in a lot of companies travel is a big contribution to CO2. So that's why the role has expanded a lot. But also on the other side, there are companies who might think travel will not be as big for us in the future. And we might also see like an outsourced travel manager coming in more often. I don't know. So these are the couple of things I'm seeing.
Certainly a broad range of things to keep in mind. Certainly gives us a lot to think about between now and our next conference. So with that, I thank Ben Park for joining us today, and thank all of you for joining us here today at the GBTA Berlin Broadcast Studio.